What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Benchviews Sport Pod. Myself, Joey, my two special guests, Niko and Carlos. But I just want to say, before we get into it, I just want to pay tribute to John Motson, who passed away this week. Football commentary legend and overall legend of the game, commented on over 2,000 games on TV and radio from the 1970s till late 2016. Just want to say rest in peace, and the football community will definitely mourn him.
Rest in peace. Legend.
Yeah.
Without further ado, let's get into it. League Cup final, Man United, Newcastle. Niko, start us off, bro.
I'm gonna say it's a beautiful evening right now. Sunday night, what else can you want? I'm happy, man. Ten Hag is the guy right now for United. He is the one that has just changed everything for us. And I don't want to get obviously over this moment because obviously it's quite soon still. However, he has come in and he's shown everyone, not just at the club, but also fans and people's opinions, that it doesn't matter what other people say, it's him. He is the one that is in control of everything at United. And he is the one that is going to take the big decisions. And you saw that with Ronaldo at the start of the season. Like, no matter what everyone was saying, he still stuck to what he wanted to do. You saw him today, or not just today, but prior to today and today. There'll be players that will come into matches and everyone will question him, what he says. But no matter what, he will still stick to his changes. And he is that manager right now. He is the one that is driving us forward. And he's got the fans believing again. He's got the players believing again. And, you know, what else to say, man? The guy's just, he's a beautiful man right now.
Saying he's a beautiful man.
He is, man.
On the game then, how do you think it went, like, overall, in your opinion? Like, do you reckon Newcastle were in it, or do you reckon it was all Man United? For you, I want to hear your opinion.
No, Newcastle did play what they wanted to play as. They did play pretty well, but they never really created a clear-cut chance throughout the game. They just weren't, ruthless there. They weren't showing that sort of like experience in a cup final. And it showed. They haven't been in a cup final for how many years? Like, I think
The 1960s.
No, yeah.
1960s.
Something like that. It's
1-0.
Yeah. And this is what I'm saying about Ten Hag. He's brought in players that know how to win these type of games. With Casemiro and Varane. Casemiro showing that again today. Play of the match.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, controlled the game, got the goal to calm the nerves down. He drives the fans, he drives the players, and he knows how to win trophies. When he came into United and everyone was saying it's a panic buy, he's too old, he's retiring home. Where are they now? Like, no one can say this about Casemiro. He's changed United, not just on the pitch but also mentally.
I don't know how people can turn around and say things like, "Oh, he's finished. This is his retirement home," and he literally won the Champions League like 6 months ago.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think that's the audacity. That's just crazy to me.
And you look at Madrid now, like in La Liga, like they're not the same.
They're not misfiring, but they're just not the well-oiled machine that we know them to be. Garcia, like, what's your take on the game?
Well, man, I think they comfortably won that, man. Newcastle played ball. Like you said, man, no clear-cut chances, and the way they defended, so the way they were organised, especially the last 20 minutes when Newcastle had more possession, they were just so well. Like, you could see there's actual structure there, where maybe under Oli, it wasn't as organised, and again Casemiro in that middle of the pitch, like you can see him like literally giving orders to players. When Sabitzer come on, he was giving orders to him, telling him what to do, like when to press or just to hold back. So I think again, big change of mentality in that team, man. Because imagine in the last season, no one really thought those same type of players are they going to be doing the same thing? And
Exactly, yeah.
To be fair, that Ten Hag, he's a proper coach as well. You see that he's really hands-on with the players as well. He ain't got just like a team around. He's got his team around him as well, but you see like he's really
hands-on.
Yeah, on the training field. So like look at Fred.
Yeah, rejuvenated, isn't it?
Yeah, man. Like he just looks a bit more disciplined as well.
A lot of players. Like you look at us last season. If you say yourselves 1 year ago from now that we'll be starting games with Maguire and Lindelof at the back still, Wan-Bissaka at right back, Wout Weghorst up front. You know what I mean? Garnacho, who probably wasn't really that well known last year, in midfield. Fred still starting games. You would think like they're not going to go anywhere.
Bruno
United
playing
not
right
going
wing
anywhere.
as well.
Exactly, yeah. He's bringing not just the right players, but he's also changed the players like who have been there already to winners. And no one can question now his integrity, Ten Hag's integrity.
Do you know what it is as well? Like, see that signing for Martinez as well. It's like reminds me of sort of Van Dijk when he came to Liverpool. They were missing that little bit, and then now he's coming again. Another change of mentality. Like you see how much, like he's celebrating when he wins a challenge or block.
Yeah.
Those little things, like so you can see that just that one player, obviously Casemiro as well, but they were just missing. Just I think a couple players, and then Ten Hag, he's just working around him like again. Wan-Bissaka, come on, he dealt St. Maximin, dealt with him.
Also want to say about Martinez, like you said, he celebrates every tackle and everything, but you just got to remember he's also a ball player. Not only is he good at defending, but he can play the ball. He's composed. He doesn't lose his head. He can drive from that centre back position into the midfield and distribute the ball out. Like he's got what most teams would want in their centre back as a modern day centre back.
Another thing, Bruno, man, you can see like he's really become that leader in that team as well.
I don't. To be honest, I don't feel like Bruno had a great game today. Though I feel like his decision making was a little bit poor in certain areas. But in saying that, obviously, one thing about Bruno that you can never kind of argue or question is his will and his determination, isn't it? That's one thing I'll give him. But overall, I feel like today he could have been better. Could have been better.
Yeah.
But in saying that as well, I want to say as well, boys, someone that's gone slightly unnoticed, not unnoticed, but he isn't really getting the plaudits that Casemiro and like Lissandro's getting.
Yeah.
And it's weird because he's a big player and we all know him to be a big player, innit? Champions League run. Like he's obviously getting a little bit of recognition, but he's not getting the recognition that Casemiro is getting and Martinez is getting. So
yeah, he has gone a bit unnoticed, but I think again because he was struggling to sort of get that fitness back as well.
Yeah.
I think now he's really kicking on as well, especially along Martinez. They're just gelling, man.
Yeah. So proper,
Even
proper
De Gea, man,
partnership.
to be fair.
Yeah, De Gea had a good game today, I think.
He had a very good game. Yeah, he stepped up. So De Gea's experience as well. He knows how to win these finals. He won it under Van Gaal, Mourinho. So
what do you think about Newcastle? Where do you think they can go from here, though?
That's what I was about to allude to now.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm a Newcastle fan, I mean, you can see it today as well. They weren't upset about the result. I mean, they've come along. They've stepping stone for them for where they're going to go. So they're still in the top 4. They still got that to focus on now. And
you see Gamaris though, man. He's a player.
Yeah,
I think he was the only one that sort of could have called something, like the way just in that middle. I think he could be.
He's gonna be a big part of that Newcastle regeneration, I should say. He's gonna be a huge part of it.
he is.
But
Top player.
another thing, St. Maximin. I don't know. I feel like the last few. I don't know, man. Just there's something about him. Like he's an exciting player. Like he's on the pitch. Like he gets you off your chair, but he's not really adding nothing towards like his end product.
It doesn't change the game drastically.
I feel like that's just gone unnoticed as well. Like everyone like applauds him for like being like this flary player, taking on 3-4 players, but he's not really adding like the end product. Like I said, end product to.
Do you know what it is with him as well? And I'll slightly sympathise with him as well. It's like, cool, he's come back from injury whilst Newcastle have been doing well. So obviously they haven't really had a chance to get into the team again because obviously they've been doing so well. So where he has had his little like sporadic like off the bench appearances and stuff, it's kind of difficult to come on and change games and such when you obviously been laid off for a while and you ain't really in the groove of the game. But overall, with the last like 3, maybe 4 games he's maybe started, he's showed obviously you know what he can do.
He's always going to show. Yeah, like he's always going to show that, but it's just that
can't. By the way, and also let's be honest, the way Newcastle set up as well, they're very much a low block, let's counter attack kind of team. They're not really a team that's going to go at you and try and win games, are they? Like we know they're quite stiff to break down, and that's what they build their game off of. So
who do you take in your team though? Almiron or St. Maximin?
They play on the opposite sides though.
But I'm saying like if you had to take one player on your team, who would you take?
This season you'll see Amron because like he's
based off this is
he's been a game changer.
Amron,
he's been a game changer
on this season. You'll say Amron, but I don't know. Like Amron today, he didn't really get into it like that. I think they had him. Luke Shaw had him today. I think had his number today for sure. But
it's crazy to think that was Luke Shaw's first trophy as well.
No, he's been at Man United 9 years.
Yeah,
that's his first
he missed
trophy.
out on the Europa League one because of the injury.
And what was it? What did he miss? How come he missed the Europa League one though?
Good injury.
Leg break.
No, the FA Cup one I'm thinking, sorry. The FA Cup
I
one.
don't think he was signed for us. No, he was signed.
He
for
was.
us.
He was.
No, he did win it. I think he did win it.
No, I think this was his first actual.
No, I see it today on Sky Sports as well.
Yeah.
It said it's his first trophy win as well. But I'm thinking, so where was he for the? Yeah, where was
Pretty
he for
amount
the
of
FA,
games
for the FA
that's
Cup
what it would have
one?
been.
Probably.
But also shout out Harry Maguire though, because he's come into that side as well, and he
Got his little
Yeah.
10-minute cameo.
Got his
5-minute
10-minute cameo. He does what he has to
Come
do.
on, man.
got to shout out Maguire. I also shout out Maguire for blanking the Glazers as well, because when he was meant to receive his trophy or his medal, he just walked straight past one of them. So
Oh, he blanked them, did he?
yeah, he did. Big respect.
I was watching-
big respect to
I was
Maguire.
watching it, but I didn't see that. I didn't catch that bit. I didn't catch that.
I think it was one of them off cameras one, but some cameras caught it, so I'm happy about
Well,
that.
some cameras caught it busy because you saw it. didn't it?
Huh?
So,
Yeah.
said some cameras did catch it because you saw it.
yeah.
But
He's redeemed himself just for that moment.
so what are we saying for United now? Obviously, last little segment on them. Can they kick on and trying to push for this little title push, or what do you think for the rest of their season? Obviously, still in the Europa League as well.
As I think Europa League is a possibility. There are still some difficult teams in it, like Arsenal still in it, so it's not going to be easy. But Arsenal obviously have to focus now on the Prem, and I think they'll focus on it more than United will. But something the manager's changed our mentality. He would want to win the Prem where we are right now, and he would want to win the Europa League as well at the same time. So even as United fans, we may complain that it's too many fixtures in charge, but he doesn't care. He would say that you still got to put out there as the players, and the players will say the same. He's changed their way of viewing games. So Prem, I said last week, Prem was a difficult one to be able to try and win, but Europa League, I think it's possible.
Yeah, it's possible, man.
It is possible. No.
Knocked out Barcelona.
Yeah, there you go. In the midweek, man. Quality performance. And if you're beating teams like Barca and then winning a trophy in 3 days, and then you're going to believe that you can win anything.
You've had a good week.
It's a fantastic week, bro.
You've had a good week. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I think it's been a good weekend all round for most of us, anyway.
Yeah.
But obviously, moving on to the title race. Obviously, Arsenal pick up a 1-0 win against Leicester.
1-0 to the Arsenal.
Go on, Garcia. You're
your time
go
to shine.
Go to.
We dominated them, man, throughout the whole. Probably up towards the 75th minute, then they sort of pinned us back a bit. And I feel like we sort of started to fade away. But again, Jorginho, man, he's been immense for us, man. The way he's just slotted in, just playing us out of pressure, getting out of situations, and then just going forward. Obviously, the change for Trossard going to that sort of like false 9, I think it really worked for us to like that on Saturday. So it shows that both our two buys have actually been beneficial to us. Like a lot of people saying it was a bit iffy about both of them.
So far, yeah.
Obviously, I was iffy about Jorginho, but both of them, they really added their value to that squad.
Yeah.
Gave us a bit more depth. And again, Nketiah came on. So it shows that now, maybe kick up the arse for Nketiah, get back in. And then Martinelli, good to get him back on the score sheet as well. He needed that one again. Played well. And then obviously, yeah, man, threats. The football we was playing on the edge of the box as well, like with the whole Zinchenko, Odegaard, everyone linking up. It reminded me of that old like Wenger days where they were just combining up. But we just missed that goal. But again, we just got the crucial goal and then defended well again. Gabriel, man, he's gone unnoticed as well.
The centre back Gabriel.
Yeah, he's actually proper like being solid for us. And again, Ramsdale, he's been so consistent for us this season as well. And I think that's what we've lacked previous seasons, like with injuries. Like we've managed to keep everyone fit so far, obviously apart from Gabby. But man, again, we just go on to the next game. Also, we got Everton midweek, so we got to get back for that one.
Yeah. Trossard slipped in very well in that. He played false 9 yesterday.
Yeah,
as well.
and then it's like when people were saying before when Gabby was in starting lineup, he was able to like interchange with Martinelli.
Yeah.
Both of them in that game, they were both. Sometimes Trossard will drift out to the left, and then Gabby will go through the middle. So it was good to see, man. That just we had that bit of depth, or just a bit of change it up. Because again, we've been so consistent with that lineup for the last few weeks. We just sort of changed it up a bit.
Do you know what I liked about that performance as well? Whenever Arsenal were out of possession, they lost the ball out of possession, and Leicester tried to break and counter.
Yeah.
Arsenal all of them managed to get back very quickly and get compact, and obviously slow down Leicester's attack.
They were trying to hit us on the wings.
Yeah.
Like Harvey Barnes, he was causing a bit of problems, but other than that, again, they had one shot? One shot on target?
No,
Yeah.
there had no shots on target.
No, they had
We had one
one,
shot, but 0 on target. Imagine.
Goes to show as well, innit?
Madders wasn't in that game.
Madison was a big miss for Leicester.
yeah,
A big miss for
definitely
Leicester.
a big
But
miss.
at the same time as well, what I will say is, like, why I thought I was quite impressed with how Arsenal performed yesterday as well, is because obviously against us, Leicester was getting so much joy on the counter-attack against us. And it goes to show the level of where our defence is at, sadly. But in regards to Arsenal, it was like they got back quickly, pressed the ball, tried to win it back early, and then allow Leicester to play through them, which I thought was excellent.
Yeah,
So
and then to go and score so early on in that second half as well.
yeah,
That's what
exactly.
really changed. Because again, we've been known to be starting quite quick. So again, that's just helped us a lot, man. We kept that same intensity, and obviously again, like I said, the last 15, it dropped off a bit naturally because the way we were playing. But it was good.
Yeah, these type of games last season are the type of games Arsenal would lose.
Or
Where
drop points
they'll dominate a game 1-0, outright a game, but then they'll let it slip. The other team will come out with a draw. They'll get a goal, and these are the type of games that Arsenal have improved on this season, where you guys have like not conceded where you would have conceded last season.
And the thing is, the confidence for us to keep playing out from the back, because we have been known to be getting caught overplaying, and then team go and score or nick it from. So we did have a couple mistakes. Like we put ourselves under a bit of pressure, but again, it's just that confidence that we just stuck to what we know, and it's playing out from the back. And obviously just
to see the game out from that Leicester onslaught in the last like 15, 20
that's what I'm saying,
was
and then again,
was
Party
good as
coming
well.
on, took Odegaard off. So imagine we had their Jorginho and Party just giving that extra bit of reassurance. So again,
Kept it ticking.
just getting 1-0 to the Arsenal, man.
Would you start Jorginho now with Partey, considering Jorginho's run of form? Like,
Yeah, I
Would
probably
you-
would, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I'll
You don't
keep
think
it,
it's
man.
you don't think it's a bit too early to just thrust him in like that and
Well, we haven't thrust him in 'cause
dismantle?
he's played big games for us already.
What, 2 games?
What, City?
I mean,
That's a big game. Villa.
but obviously we know how important Partey is to
Yeah, no, of
Arsenal's.
But again, it just adds that bit of competition as well. And that's what we need as well.
it's healthy competition.
Yeah. So everyone pushing for each other, which obviously pushes the level again. Like, look at Tierney, he can't even get into the team no more. And I think he was one of that fans' favourite. But the way Zinchenko's moving into that middle, just tactically, man, I think Arteta's really got us there.
Quick question: what is happening with Emil Smith-Rowe?
He's just coming back from injury, so he's on the bench. And again, for him, it's hard to bring him on.
Yeah.
And that's MATLAB.
Yeah,
He couldn't have come on against.
I don't even think it's just that. I think obviously Odegaard's importance as well has kept him out of the team as well.
Yeah, but also, remember, Smith Rowe, he was also playing on the wing as well. And
He's quite
he'll
versatile.
drift. He'll drift onto the left
so
side
usually,
as well.
yeah, but at times he would usually start as well on the wing. So, and obviously, no one's moving Saka.
I think that's what Trossard's come in for, actually, to replace that type of player like Smith-Rowe. Because Smith-Rowe was a very versatile forward.
Yeah,
You could play him in the middle, you could play him on the left or right,
yeah.
and Trossard is that type of player to
Yeah.
do that as well. So
But
he's
again, he just come back from injury as well. So I think we're just trying to ease him in. No setbacks.
I don't really see him get. I don't
I can't
really see him
I'll
getting
be
the
real, I
game
can't
time
really
like
see him,
that.
unless like we're chasing the game or we're like 0-0, we need someone to just add a bit of spark to it. But other than that, we just stuck through it, man. Again, Martinelli just looks like he's picked up his goal scoring form again, or looking like it. So it's gonna be hard for him to get back in. I'll be real.
2 goals
Maybe
back
in
to
the
back.
Europa might get a chance.
Probably. But then again, Sporting Lisbon, it's not an easy tie, bro.
Yeah, you lot should know about that, innit?
we got past them and then they're
it's
playing you lot when they could have been playing us.
Yeah,
But
it's
you know.
true. But yeah, nah. Again, just Everton, man. Gotta get our revenge on them.
Yeah, it's at home this time. So.
Because they dropped points as well. So time to go.
Shouldn't actually might be your villain if he gets another dub.
Yeah, no,
maybe
he
it's-
is. He's known to.
I mean, you guys do have a favourable run of fixtures now, so for this month coming up March anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just see how we deal with it. Obviously, now Europa's starting for us soon.
Still one game at a time, of course, isn't it?
Yeah, of course, man. That's how we've got to treat it. Because again, City, they won. So they kept that pressure on. And soon we've got to go to their grounds.
Yeah,
I have,
perfect.
I have a question as well for you, of Arsenal fans as well. Like, would you, as an Arsenal fan, not prioritize Europa League now, considering your position in Premier League? I said to you this like 2 weeks ago, but you said one game at a time. But it's starting to kick
For me,
up a gear more and more.
for me,
I'll be real.
big team challenge on all fronts for me.
Yeah, of course.
So
But I think
But
our
this
eyes
is-
are more probably going to be more on the Champions League at the moment. Not Champions League,
Premier League.
the Premier League. But yeah, of course, Europe, we're going to have to compete for that again. And we've got the players now that can sort of step in.
Yeah.
So it's not like we're going to be really weakening our team that much. I feel like we've got players that can step in and.
Yeah, I think you got adequate enough players to step in and play.
Like we had
play a role.
Vieira playing in the Europa for us.
Saka's minutes for me is actually an issue because even though he's been very consistent over time, but he gets kicked a lot during games.
Yeah, but it's just all the best players in the world, they get kicked all the time, man. So
But don't you
that's
think-
something he's got? Same thing I tell you, he's just got nothing to do with it. He's gonna get kicked.
But then don't you think he should try and protect him in some sort of way? I mean,
Well,
don't really
that's
have,
what- yeah.
he's been playing like every single game for you guys.
But again, he's our star man,
Yeah.
and our star player has to basically be starting all the time. Like look at the world class players. They're playing nearly every minute. You don't really see it. Obviously, when Ronaldo was in his prime, Messi in his prime, you don't really see them get
Yeah.
benched. And Mbappe's playing almost all the minutes as well.
Do you know he's the player with the most consecutive Premier League games in a row?
Yeah.
Like, that's done like more than.
More than De Gea.
Yeah, I think it's either De Gea or was it Nick Pope? One of the two.
It was De Gea. I saw it. It was De Gea.
Yeah, I think he's got 65. De Gea's got one of the keepers I can't remember has got 62.
Yeah.
So that goes to show, innit?
Yeah, like I said, man, world class players, they always want to play as well.
Mm.
And if he's fit enough and he feels alright, then why not, man? Our star boy, innit?
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Moving forward to the chasers, Man City, 4-1 win away from home yesterday against Bournemouth. Phil Foden bagging 2, Haaland getting on the score sheet as well. Julian Alvarez got 2.
One of his own goal.
Yeah, Phil Foden scored and Haaland scored.
And then one of his
So,
own goal, yeah.
My mistake. They're still chasing, obviously. Pep tinkered again, as we know he does.
Good old Pep.
Yeah, bringing in Rico Lewis, Kevin De Bruyne dropping out of the team as well, and Mahrez dropping out as well. What do you think, then, boys? Is this going to be the time now where City are finally going to start to pick up their run of wins, or are we still kind of unsure about whether City can do what they usually do? What do you reckon?
We've been saying this for the past few games. Like, it's just when City pick up,
Yeah, when
and
they-
they just haven't.
They just haven't done it.
Obviously,
Like,
it's
next
a-
game
it's
they'll
a
draw or
Bournemouth
something.
team that's sort of, I don't know, usually
Going down. They're going down, isn't it?
Yeah,
they're
like-
going down, isn't it?
obviously
in
they
relegation now.
credit them, they still tried to play ball, and I think that's what probably cost them. They just couldn't go, they couldn't match City's quality, and then obviously they just got caught. And again, Foden, he weren't messing around this time.
Ruthless.
He was more
That was
ruthless,
ruthless, yeah.
in front of goal. And again, Haaland chipped in again, so I think it was just a typical City win
Yeah.
against a smaller club.
Their problem as well is they can't seem to keep a clean sheet. They're
Yeah.
really struggling with keeping clean sheets. Yesterday when Bournemouth scored that goal, Ederson went absolutely balmy, and I don't blame him because they should have got rid of that cross. That cross should never have come into the box at that time as well. So that's another thing. They're just leaking unnecessary goals as well, man. It's just like I don't understand.
Another thing, the only thing that sort of scares me is that the amount of goals they're still scoring as well.
But that will never be a problem.
And
with
that's
them,
the
I
thing,
don't think.
that could be vital.
But against the other big teams, like you said, I think they changed the centre backs too much. Like yesterday, Kanji was in centre back with, it wasn't even Ake. Ake was a left back.
Ruben Diaz.
Yeah, so they've been interchanging the centre backs. When you look at the top 3 clubs in England right now, where City have been changing. Arsenal have just stuck to Gabriel and Saliba. And United with Lisandro and
But
Varane.
United's been tinkered with a little bit. At
I think that's because probably had to. Like
yeah.
we know who our 2 centre backs are.
Oh yeah, I mean it's clear and obvious.
You're
yeah,
gonna Pep roulette every week with their centre backs. You don't know who's gonna start. So I think that's why they do concede. They're gonna concede, and it is a problem this year. But like you said, their goals, they're probably always gonna outscore most teams. So, and it's Pep. You know, how are we gonna question Pep Guardiola?
Yeah, it's true.
So
Plus he's
I
playing,
mean,
so.
in regards to that, like Niko just said, yeah, can we not ever question him because of his track record, or can we question him because is it him or is it the players? Like I know a couple of weeks ago against Spurs, he called out a couple of his boys and was like, "Oh, like they need to get going." Like I know we've done everything, like apart from winning the Champions League, like they need to get going. They feel like they've obviously hit a roadblock, like where it's like, "Oh, yeah, we've conquered this." Like so, he lost a bit of motivation. Like when do we question Pep, or do we question Pep, or do we question players on the pitch in regards to City and their following form?
As soon as the players cross that line, it's down to them. And look at and they're all quality players. So how much can you criticize them when?
I mean, they're the ones on the pitch, though, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So they should the ones to be getting it because. So, like obviously, see the other day he was back in Haaland saying that Haaland's done nothing wrong, which I think is right.
I agree with him. Haaland's done nothing wrong for me.
Do you know what I mean?
I don't know. I don't think Haaland's done nothing wrong. Like he you know what you're gonna get with him.
Yeah.
But I think
Players sort of getting it to him.
Yeah, getting the ball to him. That's why I agree. I don't think Haaland's at fault for much.
But Thierry Henry did say, like I remember that he said on one of his not one of his, sorry, but when he was doing punditry, he was saying when he was a striker and it's Thierry Henry, one of the greatest of all times, that he would always adjust to the players and who is on the ball.
I see this.
Whereas Haaland, where their strengths and he'll adjust to their weaknesses too.
Yeah.
Whereas Haaland doesn't really do that. He sort of just goes about what he does. And I get that it's worked this season to a certain extent, but there's some games that you see that it doesn't work. Do you think maybe sometimes they should change him around, like for certain games? Is he too big to change?
I don't think it's that. I think it's just the way, because I think we've all seen it as well as like a case of City. He'll make a run and they won't play him the ball. That's very often. Like he'll make a run to the channel, he'll divert and like come inside and stuff like that, and they just won't give him the ball. They'd rather just pop it instead.
The only one that could
actually find him. So I feel like it's an issue on all parts. You can't just pinpoint and say, "Oh, Haaland's the reason why City can't do it." I think it's more of definitely a collective issue in regards to that. But I don't know.
And the tinkering as well with Pep, like he's changing what Foden played Cam yesterday.
He started off on the right hand side.
Yeah, and then he moves into centre mid. So it's like there's all these changing positions. So it's hard for them to understand it in the game to game scenarios.
I mean, he's always been rotating. He's still won the leagues doing that. So
yeah, is that what I'm saying? Hard to question him.
You know what I mean? So yeah, man. I think I got a man like Pep. Can't do it. So yeah. But yeah, I think just typical City, another win. Just see what they do next week again. You know what I mean? To be fair, they done well to win because they had a tough fixture back in Germany. So
yeah,
done all right, man.
Yeah.
But yeah. Where we going to now? Liverpool.
Top 4 title race. And top 4 title race, man. Top 4 race. Sorry. Obviously, big game, big London derby. Obviously, Spurs versus Chelsea. Spurs 2-0 winners. Yeah, Oliver Skip with a sublime finish. Sublime.
We spoke about him last week, man.
Yeah, he called it coming into his own. Bossed the midfield today. Him and Højbjerg was superb in the midfield today. Højbjerg popping the ball about getting the ball moving, and Skippy just in midfield breaking up play, and he was everywhere. It was awesome to watch. Still, I can't even lie. Obviously, in regards to that as well. Harry Kane, poacher's finish, Fox in the box.
Typical Harry Kane goal.
Yeah, you know where he is. You know where he's gonna be. I can't it, man. Give Stialini the keys, man. Give him the keys, bro. Like honestly, like
100% record now, isn't it?
4-4. Yeah, 4-4. The pressing, everything was just to a T today. Everything was just. Chelsea didn't look threatening at all. I'll be honest, they didn't look threatening at all. Other than like in the first half, I say with Raheem Sterling. That running at Emerson in the first half. Other than that, they didn't really trouble us too much, man. I'll be honest, man.
That injury to Silva as well.
That played a role as well, though. That played a role. Obviously as well, Ziyech, yellow card.
Lucky, very lucky.
That should have been. That should have been a red for me. That should have been a red. Cause you know why? And I'll tell you why I think that. Yeah. So the foul he committed, the referee already brought out the yellow card for that.
So I was gonna say double yellow then.
Oh yeah, obviously Emerson Royale's come over, done whatever, and he slapped him in his face.
No, he pushed him in his shoulder and his hand came off his shoulder into his face.
You watched it on TV. I saw it on live in front of me.
It looked like he pushed it. That's what the ref saw, but he actually pushed his shoulder and obviously his hand just slipped off his shoulder into his face.
Your hand slipped off the shoulder into the face.
The way you contacted it, just slided off.
I mean, you still put your hands in someone's face, like. But that was silly for me, so. Correct me if I'm wrong, boys, because obviously I was at the game myself and I wasn't getting the luxury of the TV and the commentary. So the refs obviously given the red. They told him it's a red card, right? Yeah, they told him that, right?
Yeah, they did.
And after that, they've said, "What? Oh no, go and check the monitor. We may have made a mistake." Is that what happened? Or?
No, I think he gave the red, and then they told him to check the monitor.
Yeah.
Because
apparently, what people were saying in the ground was,
they've
said into his ear it's a red card.
That's right.
Yeah. And then they've gone back on. It was all big confusion. Refs all taking toilet breaks in the first half and all that. What are you doing, bro?
I think it was his vest. Like, it wasn't the toilet
Wearing
break.
a toilet
It was his vest. I mean, he had to take all of his entire vest off and then put a new one on.
Oh, I see. See what fans do. They just make up stuff and say, yeah, he went for a toilet break. But yeah, even that, it was a bit of a shootout. I had a bit of a mare today.
The game, what do you like? What can you see that you think? Is there signs that you feel like you lot can still secure that top 4? Do you feel like?
Oh, we're in the driving seat. We're still in the driving seat. Obviously, we're like I always say to you boys as well. Yeah, I'd rather have points on the board than games in hand, because obviously points are solid. Games in hand like a if but maybe. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So obviously Newcastle got 2 games still. Yeah. Liverpool do have 2 games as well. So if they were to win those 2 games, they'd be 3 points behind us. Whereas Newcastle would be 2 if they win both their games. But like I said, hindsight's a beautiful thing, and I'd rather points than games in hand. So yeah, we're definitely in a driving seat now.
What makes me think more that Spurs will get is just Conte? That's it.
I think we just know how to do it. We've been here, we've done it. We know how to do it, innit? I think bar Liverpool, I'd say Newcastle. You never know. I don't feel like they score enough goals to really, do you know what I mean? They have to rely heavily on their home form. Other than their home form, away from home, I feel like that's where they might come short.
They've slowed down recently, Newcastle. Yeah, another lost day, but being a cup final. But they've picked up now. They lost at home to Liverpool. Pope's out for next games as well, for next 2 games. So they're gonna miss him a lot.
I think that for Newcastle now, they probably know that this is it. Now they can now just focus on the league and just go for it.
Yeah.
But without diverting too far, I want to also have a little talk about Chelsea. Obviously, I like the game today as well. Honestly, I say it as a Spurs fan as well. Like, Chelsea looked a shadow of themselves at the past Chelsea anyway. They look nothing like the Chelsea that I've seen over the last 15 years growing up. Like, that looked like we was playing bloody like old school Fulham or something, bro. Like pushovers, like it was ridiculous. I've never seen nothing like it. What do you think of that? You lot think of that, like the Potter situation as well? Like,
that's it, boys. I'm telling you, it's Potter. I've been telling you, it's Potter. Graham Potter is not that guy for Chelsea.
But go on,
the fans have been saying like the guy right there, he's camera guy, supports Chelsea. He says the same thing. He wants Potter out. Like, he's just, I don't see it. Like, I just don't see him getting this group of players together, playing for him. He can probably get them playing nice football and maybe improve him as a side, but I don't think they'll play for him. And today, like, have to drop Mudryk, taking players out, big players out, like João Felix, and I don't think I can see this week he could probably leave. I can see maybe, but nah, man, he's not the guy for me personally.
Yeah, man, Chelsea, man, it's a bit hard to. It's just like, because they're still trying to play. They're trying to play ball, but it's just the intense. I think the intensity is not there.
It's surreal. It's surreal to see it. That's the thing. That's why we're just quite gobsmacked.
In his post-match press conference earlier, Potter alluded to the fact that more of a trust opposed process kind of situation, the same way Arsenal did with Niko Arteta. Like,
that's the only thing that's just going from that, same thing, just giving that someone to see it. But again, like, even with Arsenal, there was at times that we showed we could play as well, like towards the end of the season, and obviously we faded away. But with Chelsea, there's been nothing. There's like been no signs at all. Like, apart from that West Ham game when they played it, like the first half, or after that, other than that, up until recently, again, they haven't been able to just show like a small sign of what Potter's back to bring.
Yeah, this trust the process thing, I don't like it too much, because it's almost like an excuse just to give the manager time. Just because it happened with Arteta doesn't mean it's going to happen to every manager. Yeah, because then otherwise we'll still be Ole Solskjaer in the job and still be trusting the process. Do you know what I'm saying? So,
but the thing is, you had Ten Hag. He was more or less almost available.
Yeah.
No, but he's more talking about the Arteta situation rather than anybody else.
Chelsea, like, there's no one.
What?
There's no other.
There's no really attractive manager. You think, we can maybe go for him.
I mean,
like I said, with Chelsea, it's a new era in it. This is going to be a project. It's actually going to be a project. It's a new era thing. So
I think maybe Potter might have to get rid of a few players in the summer as well.
I think Chelsea need to forget that old model of we're just going to rip out every manager that's being unsuccessful and then start with a new one, and it's going to just that whole regime is done now. I'm telling you, now that regime is done.
But It worked.
It worked. But that's on the Roman. That's on the Roman and Abramovich. That worked.
that's what I'm
But this is
saying.
a whole new era now. It's
He
just
had that
new
winning mentality
owners
as well.
and it's
Abramovich, yeah.
Simba, those days are done, my friend.
Yeah,
Oh,
Chelsea,
yeah.
Chelsea in 10th, man. It's looking bleak for them. I don't mean to probably get an European spot. I mean,
No.
You saying
They got right. They got right off the season, bro. They got right off the
the
season.
rivals Fulham though.
yeah, they need to start focusing on the Fulham boys.
Trust me.
The boys up further west. So
Simba, those days are done, my boy. They're over. But yeah, we'll have to move on to the last piece of the segment today. Crystal Palace, Liverpool, 0-0. That's I watched that game of one of the worst games I've watched this season.
tell your boy Tyler it's over as well. Let me tell you right now.
Tyler, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, man. Simba deserves what he's getting, but I feel for you though, my boy, man. Sorry, man.
I don't feel for you.
But oh no, bro. Honestly, boys, I watched that game yesterday. I actually fell asleep. Like I just stood off. I fell asleep
It
for a
was
bit.
so dead.
Oh, it was so bad, man.
It's just that middle three, man. Just that middle three.
Bro, they're just tired on all fronts, bro. Like, how many more like years or how like much longer are we gonna keep saying Liverpool need to revamp that midfield? Because honestly,
Just relying
James
on old
Milne-
legs as well, bro.
Fabinho had to come on to try and change the game.
James Milner's still coming on trying to make something happen,
Unbelievable.
bro.
Saying, man.
Oh man,
Henderson out here blocking Trent shots.
yeah. Oh, I forgot about that.
I
As
think
well.
Trent's their most creative player.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They got to rely on Trent to create chances.
I even feel sorry for Darwin, but Darwin's probably just looking around like,
You didn't even start. Was he?
Nah, he
Nah.
didn't.
but I just probably just there like, why am I not playing it though? Why?
What do you
like,
think
Jota,
of Harvey
Jota,
Nah. Like, obviously, I know he's had a half decent season, but just,
I don't know, man. Like, obviously, when he signed for Liverpool, he was a winger, innit? And under Klopp,
he's
he's
not
come.
a pacey winger.
Yeah, he's not. And obviously, playing in the Prem is a whole different ballgame as we've seen in it. But under Klopp, he's come in. He's played like right centre midfield, like
Yeah.
right at the free, and it's like, I get why you've play him there, but the physicality side of the game in the middle of the park, he's not built for that. So
Yesterday he did lose the ball a lot when he came on. I saw him when he came on. He lost the ball so many times in that midfield. And Trent as well, like he said, he was meant to be the creative, but he almost conceded a goal. I don't know if you saw it, but he gave the ball away to Palace's striker, and then luckily he didn't put it away. But if it weren't for Alisson this season, I don't know where Liverpool would be right now. To be honest with you.
So we said, what do you guys think? I already said my say on Liverpool and European opportunities. Like, what do you lot think in regards to that?
Gakpo had a chance yesterday as well, so I don't know. Like he just, they don't look.
I don't know, man. I feel like again they can still get a run of games. Or would believe some of the players that still sort of coming back in. Maybe Diaz might change something.
How long is he out
think
for now? Surely he
it's
should be
still a
due.
while
He
to
should
come
be
back.
should be due back.
Arthur
Surely.
has he even played a game? Arthur?
Barely. No, I don't think he has.
Not Arthur, but I'm talking about Diaz. Like, when is he due back? Like, at this
Well, he had a
point, he's
setback,
been
but I
away
think
for a
apparently
while now.
Yeah, because he had a setback.
He had a setback. Okay.
So I think it might be a few weeks away, maybe. Who knows? But it's just
Yeah, Liverpool missing him for sure, man. But this is what I'm saying. When he eventually comes back, like Liverpool are stacked attacking wise.
Yeah.
So what is like
Jota's back.
the issues?
Jota.
Gakpo.
But he missed a lot of chances yesterday as well. Chances he'll tend to get on target.
And to
What,
be fair to
Jota?
Palace, Palace is not an easy
Jota,
place
yeah.
to go to.
No,
as
it's
well.
not. It's not. Let's not discredit Palace as well. Let's not discredit Palace and what Patrick Vieira's doing over there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's just live that.
But even them, like Mateta fluffed a couple chances yesterday as well. Like they're struggling to score goals as well, Palace. But obviously, defensively, they're managing to walk away with points at Selhurst Park anyway. Just about. I wouldn't say they're doing too well in regards to what they should be doing with the array of talent that they do have.
Yeah. Do you think they're missing? And Firmino's back, but Firmino's not what he was before. They think they're missing that player that Klopp
they need
desires.
a number 10. They need a number 10. Like,
Do you need a number 10 though?
or like a
Yeah,
creative player, like
but look what Klopp was doing with Firmino. He would drop him into that centre forward, and he would be the one to
he'll be that
done the through balls, make the through balls.
Yeah, but it's like with losing Mane, they lost their cohesion. So where you're saying Firmino would drop in, like Firmino would probably drop in now, and you could look for both sides. You can look for Salah on that side and then Mane on that side. Whereas now it's just like, Darwin's just in the middle there. If Jota plays, Jota's like moving around there.
Yeah.
Salah's dropping deeper now and trying to do the playmaking thing. If you really deep it, like I think only like on 2 occasions, I think Salah ran in behind. Like, but other than that, like
Maybe,
I don't know, man.
Maybe Luis Diaz is that missing piece.
He
so
probably
he
is.
probably
He
is one that
probably
brings
is.
balance to that team. Because
Yeah.
last season they did finish second last season. Well, remember that as well. So it's not like, and they still got the same players from last season, but they just
That's the
haven't.
thing, like,
It's the midfield.
Players are starting to, they've peaked now, haven't they?
Yeah.
As everyone says, well, as it's well known, like cycles do come to an end.
And
Maybe
as much
that-
as I love Thiago as a player, does he suit their system? Really?
Probably not. Probably not.
So that's another thing as well.
They've definitely lost their intensity in it. So
Yeah, man.
that's
And again,
another
that's
thing.
it. The money's there. I don't think the money's there either.
Yeah. But to round up though,
Yeah.
obviously West Ham come out of the relegation show with their 4-0 win yesterday. Leeds United come out to get the relegation over their win yesterday as well. Everton, Bournemouth drop in. Relegation, like
Yeah.
size of their things is just heating up now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can't really call it at this point.
There's
now.
like 2 points between like those teams as well. 2-3 points.
Yeah.
I think Everton will be fine just under Sean Dyche. West Ham I think will be fine as well.
Yeah, I think West Ham will be alright, man.
It's just about Leeds and Bournemouth. You don't know. Southampton are finished.
They're gone.
Yeah,
They're
they're
gone.
just
I think
very,
they're
very
gone.
woeful.
Forgetting they won last week against Chelsea, and then now there's.
Who hasn't won against Chelsea?
It's true.
So,
Why, on that note, Simba, it's over. End it there, boys. Thank you again as usual.
thank you very much. Joe.
That's another episode to conclude on Benchviews Sport Podcast. I've been Joey, Niko, Carlos. We'll see you again next week. Like, comment, and subscribe. Cheers.
Thank you.